Good morning and welcome to Herb Oracle Podcast, botanical divination with herbs, essences, flowers, and trees with your host, Herbal Marie. Let's start the day off pulling some oracle cards and getting a few messages. We can shoot the shiitake in a spiritual way-ish. And if you follow me on Instagram, I'll post a pic of the cards at Herb Oracle. Thanks so much for joining me. Here we go. Hey, you guys, it's so cold out. So much sniffing from it being so cold out. So anyways, that's where I'm at today. How's it going? Welcome back to Tuesday Tarot Tuesday. We're going to be doing a tarot layout today. I really love Tuesdays. Like, they feel so lighthearted but exciting because we don't know what we're going to be doing. We never know what to expect. I'm not a seasoned veteran at tarot cards, so this is always fun for me. Like, this is my new thing, my new hobby, investing in a new aspect of divination, new toys, new tools, new things to play with. So we're going to be doing a really awesome self-empowerment spread today. It's 5 cards, and it is by, on Instagram, you can find the creator of this layout at starseed.academy. So starseed.academy has made a self-empowerment spread, and we're going to use the Herb Crafters Tarot. I think I'm just going to use that deck here at Ho, because my other tarot deck is the Herbal Tarot by Michael Tierra, and I am really diving deep into that on my other podcast, Herbal Marie. So I think just to make it simple for me, simple as in I don't have to make a decision, like I don't have to choose which one to use. We'll just use the Herb Crafters here, but I invite you, if you haven't already, join me over at Herbal Marie. We'll be getting ready to do another tarot podcast there soon, maybe even tonight if I catch like a second wind. I was awake at 2:30 in the morning because I went to bed so early that like you get like almost 5 hours of sleep and your body's like, whoop, ding, time to get up. But nope, I had to lay in bed and just listen to music and relax and think about beautiful things. So that is what I did. I spent the first chunk of my day thinking about beautiful things, and then I got up and did some productive things, and now we coming together to do some tarot things. So I love tarot cards. I used to say that I would never when it came to tarot, because I just didn't understand the storyline, to be honest. I was an oracle card reader, and I just couldn't really remember the story so much, and what's that, what do the swords mean, what do the wands, it just seemed like too freaking much, and then it also seemed a little dark. Some of the tarot decks, I don't know, I wasn't really called to it. But herbs can change everything. If it's an herbal deck, I'm in. I am in. If it's a tree deck, I'm eyeing you up. But even now that I've been working with my herbal tarot decks, I'm open now to tarot. As I journey with the herbal tarot at Herbal Marie, and I take time to learn each card, I'm getting it more, I'm loving it more, and I'm open to using them more. And so that means at some point, oh God help me, if I start buying other tarot decks, it's all over, because there's so many. There's just, I'll have to join some shopping addiction support group to get me out of buying them. So I'm hoping I don't. I just want to stick with my herbal ones. At least that keeps me contained. At least that contains my consumerism. But I can see how you would once you understand the storyline of the different suits and the arcanas, however you say them, it really does start to make lots of sense and be lots of fun. So I'm going to take this deck out and just warm my hands up It has every card except the Mallow card. Althea officinalis is not in this deck because she is our herb of the week. So she's sitting in front of me. Well, she's on like this little prop that I have made for my oracle cards. And she's got hummingbirds on her and a water feeder and Aphrodite. So there was lots of love in my life yesterday. Can't be complaining anymore, y'all. Can't be complaining that I don't have a lover. I'll just tell you that. So no more complaints for me for the rest of 2020. If you were tuning into this podcast to hear me bitch and moan about my life, I'm sorry, but I'm just all done with that. I'm just all done with that for right now. So that's cool because now it's time for us to manifest beautiful things. And yesterday, Marshmallow, she wanted to talk about how you can use love and compassion to overcome any adversity in your life, to soothe out the rough patches, to make things soft and sweet. And, you know, just she's so comforting and soothing. We did have the Queen of Pentacles yesterday, along with a lot of other beautiful messages. So if you didn't check out yesterday's podcast, the Herb of the Week is Marshmallow. And I put up on the Herbal Marie Patreon page a printable with the affirmations that you can print out and read Marshmallow's affirmations all week. I read them this morning and we'll do them again here in a little bit. Okay, so let me tell you about this self-empowerment spread. This is not the only spread on the... Well, I'll probably be using starseed.academy. Oh, I imagine lots. Because, like, just when I was there... This is not her newest spread, but when I was there last night, I was like, oh, that looks good. Oh, that looks good. That looks good, too. So I'm sure at some point we will make another trip around the sun back to starseed.academy. So this self-empowerment spread, it has 5 cards. Okay. So the first card is like up at the top. How do I describe this? It's like not a triangle. Hold on, Sadie. Use your words. Use your descriptive words, Sadie. All right. So there is one at the top. Now, diagonal going down to the left is 2 and 3. And then diagonal going down to the right is 4 and 5. So you can look at my hoe page on Instagram. And I'll be sharing her spread there and linking to her and thanking her. Thank you so much for offering these amazing spreads on your Instagram page. Like, dang, girl. So 1, 2, 3, and then 4, 5 on the right side. It's like kind of like starting to make an A or the point of a star, you know. Yeah, what is this called? Pointy shape. So the very top card is number 1, and it says, in what areas am I disempowered? So we are doing a self-empowerment spread, but first we're going to ask the deck, in what areas am I disempowered? And that's going to be up at the top. That's going to be like where the realm that we need to do a little work on, the realm that might be disempowering us. Okay, we'll just be open to it. Hey, shuffle along with me. Get your deck out. Let it know what's going on. We're doing the self-empowerment spread. You can play along with me. Then we're going to go down to the left. The second card is called the Power Drain. The Power Drain. All right. And then the third card is Spiritual Effect of Disempowerment. So it's kind of like everything that's wrong is on the other side, right? So we have, in what areas am I disempowered? That's our first card. The Power Drain. The Power Drain, like, okay. The Power Drain, that means like what's making it worse? The Power Drain. Or maybe who? And then the third card is a Spiritual Effect of Disempowerment. So we're just kind of going to do it and see. And then we'll hop over to the right side to do number 4 and number 5. going down. So we'll think again about what area you're or disempowered. That's the first one up at the top. But the 4 and 5th card, the 4 and the 5 are solutions, right? So number 4 says take your power back, and number 5 says self-empowerment signs. So we're just going to do it and see if it makes any sense. And if it doesn't, hey, we were going to hang out together anyways. So nothing's lost. You know, we get up, we hang out. Sometimes it's good. Sometimes it's really good. Sometimes it's amazing. And sometimes we just hang out, right? We're like wabi-sabi friends. All right. So let us begin. So, all right, Herb Crafters Tarot, let me give you a good shuffle. We are doing the self-empowerment spread. Self-empowerment spread. Because, yeah, I mean, you want to know, like, what areas you are disempowered. Yeah, like, if there's a power drain, let's fix it, right? Let's address it. And there's always something to learn from being disempowered. Truly, there is. There's something that you are learning. So, spiritual effect of disempowerment. Why are you playing the victim? Why are you disempowering yourself? Why are you giving your power away? Why don't you want to take control of your life? Why don't you want to be a conscious creator? Those are things to address if we're screwing ourselves up. And then take your power back. Hey, we're always open to advice, how we can take our power back. And self-empowerment signs will be the last one. So how do you take that? Like signs that we're getting empowered now, or maybe it'll give us actually something to look for as a confirmation that we are getting our empowerment back. Yeah, we'll just have to kind of see. That's what I mean. Like, this is why Tuesday Tarot kind of makes me nervous a little bit. Because I'm like, oh shit, I'm like setting myself up to fail. That's what it always feels like. But we're on the 4th week of officially doing it. Well, actually, that's just in 2020. We did a lot of Tarot Tuesdays in 2019 too. I mean, I tried when I remembered it was Tuesday. I'm more organized this year. And it always turns out good. So I don't even know why I'm freaking out. Okay. Why? Because my deck's going to be honest and call me out on my shit. That's usually why I'm scared of tarot. Because it's like, yeah, here's your insecurities. Let's talk about them. So anyways, we'll just appreciate the process, since tomorrow when we get together on Wednesday, we are going to manifest more appreciation tomorrow. So let's just get a head start on that and appreciate this for what it is. And yeah, let's appreciate this tarot spread, the self-empowerment spread. All right, here we go. In what areas am I disempowered? In what areas am I disempowered? All right, one's coming up from the top, so we'll put that up there. I'm not going to look at them until we're all done. The power drain. The power drain. The power drain. Uh-oh, you guys. Now, come on, Tarot. Are you for real? There are 2 cards coming out for the power drain. See, this is also what pisses me off about my life. I tried to set rules and guidelines. They were falling out together. All right, fine. Great. So I'm already not following directions. Okay, the spiritual effect of disempowerment. Okay, that one chucked itself out on the damn floor. You know what? It's upright, but my face is pointing up because I don't want to look at it yet. Okay, I didn't see it, because I reached down and just grabbed it with my face pointing to the ceiling so I wouldn't look. I'll look at that in a minute. Okay, so I don't know how my layout is going to look different because my second card had two cards. The spiritual effective disempowerment chucked itself out on the floor. So that's always powerful when there's a little force. Okay, I'm going to shuffle here because now we're getting solution oriented, which everything can be solution oriented. Your problems are your biggest teachers and lessons. They show you solutions as it's a problem, it shows you the solution. And once you get out of judgment, my friend Asiel the Oracle, okay, here we go. There's our card for take your power back. As we get out of judgment, we can just say everything's perfect. I mean, is it really a problem? Right? Get out of judgment. So self-empowerment signs, please. Self-empowerment signs. How will I know I'm getting my power back? What is the self-empowerment sign? Are you kidding me? 2 cards. All right, well, I tried. Starseed Academy, I tried. My decks, they just like to make me look like a fool. And I appreciate that. I really do. Like, one, because I love to laugh, and 2, because I love to laugh. So, I mean, hey, it's fine. I love rule breakers. I homeschool my children. I don't follow any damn rules myself. So why would I even think that my tarot decks and my oracle decks would follow rules? They're like, honey, you don't even follow rules. Why should we? All right, so here we go. I'm going to at least put the cards like hers are, hopefully. Now there are 2 piles that have 2 cards, though. All right, when they're stacked up on each other, it does look like the Self-Empowerment Spread by Starseed Academy. So I'll either just overlay the doubles or, I don't know. You just want it to look exactly like the layout picture. All right, so let's see here. Are you ready? Number 1, in what areas am I disempowered? Okay. In what areas am I disempowered? Let's see what the deck says. And let's see if I agree. Let's see if I can get the card turned over. All right, I got catnip. Ooh, in what areas am I disempowered? The Haja of air. Okay, so that's a Spanish word, but it basically means the daughters. Okay, that's the Spanish word for daughters. The daughters of air, catnip. So this is something about playfulness, because all the daughters are about play, wonder, and innocence. So it's H-I-J-A, Haja of air. I'll just say daughters of air, because I mean, there just ain't nothing worse than a Western Pennsylvania white girl trying to have an authentic Spanish accent. We don't know what the hell we're talking about. Okay, so it's the daughter of air. It's catnip. And I'll just I'm going to read the keywords, and then after like our affirmation break, we can come back and dive deeper into the guidebook. I would love to do that if you have time to hang out. If not, let's go through the keywords, get the message, take a break, and then we'll get a little deeper. All right. Catnip says, okay, in what areas are you disempowered? Well, Sadie Marie, catnip is return to beginner's mind, first thought, best thought, and then it also says make mischief with a sleeping cat. So I might have to read it now so I can understand this, though. See, I'm breaking my own damn rules. Okay, so return to beginner's mind. What areas am I disempowered? Like I'm not returning to beginner's mind, or I'm not trusting my first thought, my best thought, my intuition. I'm not getting familiar with my familiars. I'm not connecting maybe with, oh my God, I just psychically got the answer, but I know what the answer now is. I don't consider myself a psychic. And I feel like the message that just came into me psychically was saying, you don't acknowledge, you disempower yourself by not claiming your abilities. Dang. You're right. I don't. I hate to make claims. Disclaim out the wazoo. I ain't trying to be shit, because then people expect things from you. And I hate that. Take it or leave it. And I don't like to make promises, and I don't like to maybe claim I'm something that maybe I'm not, but I probably am. So I guess that's my message. In what areas am I disempowered? I'm not crediting my psychic abilities. Maybe I'm downright not even acknowledging them at time, or I'm playing them off so hard, so much, I'm just saying, oh, it's nothing, but it's bullshit. You fucking knew that was going to happen before it happened, And it's you have foresight, you have inner sight, but you always disempower yourself by not giving yourself credit. And I'm saying this to myself because it's my higher self is telling me, and it's not even that I need to get credit from other people or get a business card or advertise myself, but for the love of Goddess, give yourself credit inside your head. Acknowledge it to yourself. Get really secure in your abilities and trust them, and understand that whenever you get that first thought, when you start running at the fucking mouth, it's good. It's good information coming in for you. And maybe then once you start to feel empowered, and I do this, I am empowered with my own information, but apparently not as much as I could be. And I'm disempowering myself all the time by playing small. Ooh, so in what areas am I disempowered? I would definitely say Catnip is saying your psychic abilities. And yeah, then maybe at the same time, logically, allow yourself to get into beginner's mind. So it's a kind of a paradox kind of message coming in for me. It's on the one hand, you're disempowering yourself by psychically not giving yourself enough credit. On the other hand, you're disempowering yourself by being a know-it-all, logically, mentally, egoly, and not letting yourself get into beginner's mind more often. So recognizing that in the grand scheme of things, you don't know shit, okay? But yet at the same time, you have to know that you know everything. It's this weird message coming in, you guys, but apparently that's the area that I keep on disempowering myself. Ooh, so anyways, we can come back to that, but I think that's what I'm going to go with. I think I'm going to go actually more with the psychic one, because I feel like I do cut myself down or don't give myself credit. I think that's probably disempowering me more than Catnip could be coming in with a beginner's mind message. So I think I'm gonna honor that too. Get back into beginner's mind. There's always something to learn. There's always more to learn. There's always more to experience, grow, expand. But when you do start having your insight, make sure you are acknowledging it, giving it credit, trusting it, and allowing it to be your truth. All right, let's see what the power drain is. This one had 2 cards. This one fell out, Rosemary and Burdock. My God, how could this be a power drain? I love you guys. So we got the Hanged one and the Curandera of Air. So curandera of air, which I think, what is that? All right, the curanderas, this is the healers. So I got the healer of air and the hanged one, which is like the hanged man, as the power drains. So Rosemary says, adopt a story and pass it on. With pen, song, or brush, tell your story. What is remembered lives. So the power drain, to me that says when you feel like you have to tell the story of who and what you are, like define who I am, put a label on myself, that is the power drain. Like as far as having psychic abilities or being an oracle card reader or just getting messages from the divine, once I start having to explain who and what I am, that's where I lose all my power, because then I feel like I have to live up to that story. I feel like that story has to always be what's true, or people have expectations, and there goes my power. And it came in with the hanged man, the hanged one, Burdock, number 12. And Burdock says, embrace a foe as a friend, tap into nourishment found in the depths, let go of control, lasting change takes time. So yeah, I guess it's like, why did it come in with Rosemary? Because I'm a control freak? Because if I say that I can receive messages, then I feel like I have to every single time. If I claim to be a healer, if I claim to be a healer of air, right, with Rosemary, if I claim to be that, then then Burdock is coming in with some control issues, saying like, I know, and then you get freaked out in your head that you always have to be like that. And then maybe you're not embracing foe as a friend, or maybe there's just some people that are, instead of seeing them as blessings, lessons, and teachers, you're seeing them as foes, and they're draining your energy. But it's definitely like commitment issues, and then having to always be that. I think so. Of course, this could also be, what is the power drain? Well, focusing on problems, that can drain your power. Focusing on when you didn't bring in a message and you should have, or the message was a little late or something, and then you start to kind of maybe doubt your abilities, things like that. All right, now we'll move on and then we'll come back. So self-empowerment spread. It's hard. Hey, can I just interrupt myself to just announce it is difficult to call yourself out on your own shit. So if you have never, I invite you to give it a go. So if it feels like I'm struggling here, it is, because you're like your ego does never want to be wrong. Ego never wants to be wrong. Even with spiritual stuff, even though my ego is like, it's the anti-spiritual stuff, but it still doesn't want to look bad. It really doesn't. And it doesn't like to take suggestions. So anyways, that is maybe where now Burdock root, I'm just going to get some of my own messages here. I'm looking at these cards. It has a really, really, really long taproot. So power drain, it's like definitely a message to go deep, to go deeper, maybe. And rosemary too. What an interesting plant. I'm gonna have to sit with these and think just for a little. I love that there's runes on the burdock card. I'd like to work more with my runes. But yeah, I mean, that takes me back to Catnip saying beginner's mind. Well, why haven't you worked more with your runes? Because you don't know what the hell you're doing and you like to be a perfectionist and it bothers you that you have to start from scratch with something. So, but then it's saying that's why you got the runes, because you need to constantly be doing something new so that you can kind of be like challenged or inspired, of course, but also humbled. Like you don't know how to do everything. Like there's some things that you don't know anything about. And that's good for me. That's really good for me. Because as far as then strengthening and nourishing and growing my psychic development, it offers me opportunities to go into realms that I'm not familiar with, like with the runes. And even though I'm like trying to learn them, I still actually have enough abilities that like they start to work, you know? And that does confirm a lot of things in my life. All right, let's do the third card, spiritual effect of disempowerment. So so this disempowerment that I have, like with not wanting to claim my psychic abilities, with, you know, not always believing, instilling doubt, like, okay, so I've been disempowering myself. I've not wanted to commit to a story. I've not wanted to commit to a description or a label, or, you know, like I've been holding myself back. I see the marshmallow card up there with compassion and it's just shining bright. Well, I've dimmed my light sometimes. I've certainly not stepped up to the plate like I could have. I know that. So what has been the spiritual effect of disempowerment? And this was the one that chucked itself on the floor, if you remember. I had to pick it up. It is Yucca. It's an Adelita of Earth with Yucca. So the Adelitas are the warriors. So the spiritual effect of this disempowerment, it has affected my warrior spirit. Yes, definitely. Oh, that, now see, I have chills all through my body, back of my neck, down on the front of my calves. Not my calves, my thighs. But it's like, yes, like whenever you don't believe in your abilities, not that I don't believe in them, but I don't credit them. I don't advertise them. Sometimes I don't believe in them. That was honest. Yeah. It is affecting my warrior of earth energy, Yucca. So the keywords here is put a new spin on an old tradition, ground your spirituality in practical ways, to honor your ancestors, honor the land. So the spiritual effect of disempowerment. I mean, of course, like, because it's like kind of like asking like a negative thing, I have to contemplate and question myself, like, how has this affected my relationship with Gaia? How has this affected my relationship with the plants and with the plant energies? Like, when I don't step up to the plate and acknowledge my insight and my abilities, how is that affecting the messages that the plants are trying to send me? That's what I hear. The spiritual effect of disempowerment. So anyways, it's a strong message. I think, like, right as we're going to move into the solutions, it's definitely a strong message that I have to connect more with the earth, because I didn't realize it, but maybe I've put up some unnecessary blocks between me and nature. Ooh, this is good, you guys. Like, I know I'm not articulating the best that I ever have done before, but this is really like not the easiest spread. Like, it seems easy, but then once you like try to figure it out for yourself, it's like, okay. But yeah, I think that's my message. But I'm gonna come back and maybe go round through it again. But the spiritual effect of disempowerment is the yucca, the Adelita of earth, the warrior of earth. So the spiritual effect is that I'm not connecting as much with my ancestors, with the ancient ways, because I'm not honoring all of my intuitive abilities. I'm not letting myself be the weirdo that I am all the time. And yes, my spiritual effect, I feel like, is that I'm slowing myself down. Like, not that there's any rush or any big deal, but like we are eternal beings. However, I could be doing a lot more. I could be expanding a lot more. I could be understanding a lot more. I could be connecting with the earth a lot more if I would, just maybe address this a little bit. So I do want to dive into the book with these cards, because it's great. It's great fun. It's great nerdy, geeky fun to just, read and see what else we can learn and what we can take with us today. But first, we have 2 more cards, and these are supposed to be our solution cards, so we'll see if they make sense. Number 4 is going to be Take Your Power Back, and then the last one is Self-Empowerment Signs. So let's see what card came in. Number 4, Take Your Power Back. We're on the right side now, going down. Take your power back. Okay, it's Adelita of Air with oregano and that vag steaming chair. Take your power back through your pussy. This is my favorite card in this whole deck now. So I thought about this card yesterday. I just want to tell you that. And the fact that, it really did encourage me. Was that just last week? It really did encourage me to open up my throat chakra through my vagina, right? Through that energy canal, through that energy connection. So take your power back. Yeah, through your pussy. It's a ridiculous thing, but it's like, make peace with your femininity. Make peace with your puss. Love who you are. Love being a woman. Love being unique. Love having the ability to create life, right? Like, be really comfortable who you are. Get sexually open, solid. I want to say confident, but it really is just like ease. Get comfortable. Get comfortable who you are. Take it or leave it, right? So take your power back. How does this even connect into psychic abilities? Is anyone else wondering? But if I understand it, because if I can allow myself to open up sexually more and more and more, that is some insane energy, crazy ass, powerful, mind-blowing energy that wants to come through my body. So by partaking in more sensual endeavors, more self-care endeavors, more self-love endeavors, okay? No more judging the puss, you guys. Love it, love it, love it, love it. The more you do this, the more you allow yourself to be comfortable with intimate interactions, the more you allow that sexual energy, which is the life force of the universe, the more you allow that to flow in your body. Catnip is saying you're going to unleash energy in your body. You're going to unleash that kundalini, and you're not going to be able to deny your abilities anymore. You're going to really be so tuned in, tapped in, turned on that you will understand energy more. You will be more in receiving mode, and you will become more, confident in what you are experiencing. And it'll clear out a lot of the trauma. Like these acts of self-care for our girly bits, and love and intimacy and acceptance and healing and doing our clearing work, they really will just help us so much in the realm of spirituality and getting our power back. Yeah, because especially if you have wounds, and I certainly do, but they're healing so fast, actually. But there's still work to be done. All right, so what are our signs? This was the second pile that decided to spit out two cards instead of one card. What are our signs? Oh, these are great. So our signs, like literally I'm taking them as when I see these herbs, I'm gonna know I'm getting my power back. Yarrow and California poppy. Self-empowerment signs. So I'm thinking in my head, when I see the Ace of Air, Yarrow, and the Daughter of Fire, the Hija, I'm gonna have to look this up and figure out how to talk. When I find the Daughter of Fire, the California poppy, I can know that I am getting my power back, my self-empowerment. I'll just remember this spread is what I'm gonna fucking do, and I will think, yes, I had to break some boundaries, right, with the Ace of Air, with Yarrow. I had to come out of my shell a little bit, but yeah, they're gonna let me know that these are self-empowerment signs. So I'm looking first in the book at California poppy. Funny that I got two daughters. Did I get two daughters? Yeah, two daughters. A warrior. Oh my god, two warriors. My goodness. This is a really great spread. All right, so let me think about the California poppy keyword. Create with the enthusiasm of a beginner. Okay, so that was an area of disempowerment from catnip. Remember how I was tripping on it right at the beginning? That beginner's mind. I'm not allowing myself to get back to that often enough. That place of, creating with the enthusiasm of a beginner. California poppy says boisterous play, then sweet sleep. Light up the landscape with golden joy. So when I start doing these things, when I start creating with the enthusiasm of a beginner, when I just let myself play and play and play and then rest and sleep sweetly, right? That's going to be a sign that I'm getting my power back. My self-empowerment is returning when I'm going to be able to light up the landscape with golden joy. Like just being brilliant because, honey, I'm just going to shine, right? I'll notice this in my life and know that I've been doing the work, getting my self-empowerment back. And this was a really important spread for me to do because, my life is changing chapters, maybe books. Maybe I'm actually starting a whole new book, right? I'm getting out of my marriage that was full of adversities. Marshmallow's laughing with me up there with the adversity card. She's like, haha. Yeah, so one thing that suffered greatly from being married was my self-empowerment. So I feel like Yarrow also wants to just tell me, don't let that ever happen again. Not that like you can't be in love and be married again, but don't let yourself lose yourself. Don't give up your power. Don't ever do that again, right? So the Yarrow of Air, the Ace of Air, Yarrow, has a message saying, don't fence me in, Discernment is necessary for survival. Know your wounds, identify your medicine. So yeah, I mean, it is self-empowering to know, to have discernment. It is self-empowering to know where you have been hurt in the past and, just, I don't want to say take precautions, but you just know better now. You're just going to see, you would see the warning signs, right? So when I see yarrow, though, it is going to remind me to be powerful. And also, yeah, there's another message here to seek vision from your ancestors. And that's on the bottom too. Now, Yucca was saying that I probably am pinching myself off from receiving that information because I'm not giving myself credit of my psychic abilities, of my ability to connect and to receive. So Yarrow is saying, once you start receiving more, once you'll know that you're being, you've done the self-empowerment work because you will be connecting more with the ancestors. And I feel like there's a message here for me, if I am being completely honest with myself. It's like when I meet new people, when I connect with new people, like I really do keep it on the down low, who I actually am and what I actually do, because, I don't want to be labeled as weird or a witch or, or gosh darn it, those terrible expectations people have of me. Like, I don't want to have to live up to myself. And it's just saying to me, well, make sure that's not creating like a fence for you or a box for you. Like, don't let yourself be any less weird just because, you're hanging out with somebody new. I don't know. There's like a little message there. There's a little message there for me somewhere. Okay, so this still looks awesome. I love the way it's laid out. It looks different than Starseed Academy's because these ones have two, but I guess they needed to come in. They needed to come in together to sort of like just bring home this message a wee bit. So I want to dive in the book, but I also need to get a drink and do my affirmations. How about you? Yep, we doing it. Hey, beautiful lovelies. This week's affirmation minute is brought to you by the herb of the week, marshmallow. I am nurtured. I feel the joy of being on the earth. I nurture others with my bliss. I slow down and enjoy the sweetness of life. I overcome adversity with calmness and compassion. I let love in and welcome genuine connections. I love these affirmations and I dedicate them all to you. Thank you for your support. I am nurtured. I feel the joy of being on the earth. I nurture others with my bliss. I slow down and enjoy the sweetness of life. I overcome adversity with calmness and compassion. And I let love in and welcome genuine connections in my life. And so it is. Yay, you gotta love the affirmation minute. In real life is like 20 minutes. My affirmation minute in real life was like 20 minutes. It included a bowl of oatmeal and 2 buttered pieces of toast. So while I was chowing down, I was thinking about, this message for me personally and how it's kind of like interesting that this layout is from Starseed Academy. And that's part of the message too. For me, I was like, oh my God, and what else am I hiding from the world? What else do I not tell people? What else do I fail to mention, right? My galactic connections, my interaction with those energies, it sometimes just doesn't come up, right? Because you know what people are going to think. But that was kind of cool that I had that realization while I was eating. Do you ever put a spoonful of sweet oatmeal on buttered toast? It's just like such a good combo. And I was like, yum. And then I was like, oh my gosh, starseed, Sadie. This is part of the message too, of owning up to who you are and how you know, the connections that you do have, and letting that help you with your self-empowerment, right? Getting your power back. Well, you got to admit to yourself what you do, what you think, and how and who you are connected to. So anyways, very interesting layout. Thank you so much to Starseed Academy. I really enjoyed this spread. You know, just and the other thing that I thought was really cool is all of these herbs, except for yucca, but I maybe could grow it if I really tried just for the summer here. But all of these herbs are local. Yeah, yucca, that would be kind of tough in Pennsylvania. But like, I'm thinking like if I got a yucca plant, it could survive the summer, you know? But rosemary, burdock, catnip, oregano, yarrow, California poppy, these are all pretty much backyard herbs. Yeah. And garden, you have to bring in the rosemary. It doesn't survive Pennsylvania. But burdock, everywhere. Catnip, in my yard, everywhere. Oregano, got it. Yarrow, you can find it. And even California poppy, you do have to bring them in and sow some seeds, but they are happy here. They are happy here, and sometimes they self-sow and come back. So anyways, all of these herbs are accessible. It gets me really excited for the return of warmth and sunlight and growth. And yeah, I want to dive into each of these cards. So I know that's going to take a little while. So if you can hang. If not, go be beautiful. Go feel empowered. Do this tarot layout. Let me know how it worked out for you. Where are you? What areas are you disempowered? Find out your power drain. Find out the spiritual effect of this disempowerment, because there is a lesson there, y'all. Then take your power back. Go steam your vag, Sade. Go take your power back. And see, that is hilarious, because like I've really made a joke of that. We did the April Fool's podcast last year. You can steam your vagina. And it was just a joke, really. We just were laughing about it because I never did it, and it just seems, and I really, honestly, part of me is like, hello, the vagina is a self-cleaning oven, but then at the other part of me, like, I'm hearing all these great stories of like women shortening their flow and their spotting and toning, and I mean, a little steam on the kuchachi kind of sounds relaxing too. So like, I don't know, like, why wouldn't I try it at least once? So I have it in my head now for sure to be more open to this and maybe do the follow-up podcast this April. You can steam your vagina for real. That's one podcast that I wish I did interviews with. I wish I had guests on my podcast, but it's a one-man show. So I will have to figure it out. And then finally, do this layout from Starseed Academy. Do this self-empowerment spread so you can pull the last card for yourself, which is self-empowerment signs. How will you know? How will you know you got your power back? So really great spread, really great cards. Not the easiest message to bring through, admit to, and sit with and be like, oh, okay. But needed. So that is definitely the thing that I am noticing about doing tarot on a weekly basis on Tuesdays, is that I am going where I maybe wouldn't have on my own. Yeah, maybe going where I need to. Maybe not want to, but maybe where I need to. So anyways, let's talk about catnip. Let's talk about Nepeta Kataria. This was return to beginner's mind. First thought, best thought. Make mischief with a sleeping cat. So as we look at this beautiful card, there is a cat sleeping under the catnip. And she's harvesting the catnip above the sleeping cat. It's really sweet. The sky is clear and blue on a bright spring day. Sage, lemon balm, catnip, and California poppy fill a small garden. So when you look around, yeah, you can see some poppy leaves there. You can see some more poppies, like maybe off in the background. There's also sage, lemon balm. So a cat slumbers, barely noticeable in the catnip. And I didn't even mention the cat. It's just tucked in there. It slumbers, barely noticeable in the catnip. The soft, pungent herb curves around the cat's head like a wild green mane. A girl plucks a sprig of catnip in her right hand and gleefully reaches toward the sleeping animal. The daughter of air invites everything to be her teacher. She observes the cat and playfully follows her into the catnip. Like this herb that grows wild through the garden, she lets the world around her inform the direction she takes. She approaches learning with the innocence of a child. She may revisit a well-known subject with the curiosity of a beginner. Just as catnip settles emotions with its refreshing medicine, she sets her feelings aside and communicates her observations and questions clearly. So crafting with the Hija, I'm just going to say daughter. Crafting with the daughter of air. So catnip wants you to try something new. Maybe try growing catnip in a window pot or a garden. It will spread. It doesn't take over everything. You can pull it out if you don't want it. But yeah, once you plant catnip once and you let it go to seed, that first year, you will always have catnip. Another way to craft with catnip is perform a tea ritual with catnip before meditation to return to beginner's mind. All right, I'm going to take that one for sure. I can do that because, that is going to assist me opening up to more messages from the ancestors and the plants and the galactics, right? So getting back into that beginner's mind. Another way to craft with catnip is strengthen the psychic bond between you and your familiars. Craft a catnip mouse. So my familiars are not cats. Interestingly enough, I've never really connected with a cat. I've connected with cats negatively. That's not true. I've connected with cats. I don't like them. I really don't like them all that much. I mean, I like them enough to be like, hi, but not to have one. Not to have one. And I don't I've tried living with them before. Did not work out any of the times. My familiars are dogs, which are probably actually dragons. My dragon dogs. Those are my familiars. But I can still use catnip because catnip is for everyone. I can still use catnip, with that tea ritual before meditation or just to open my mind more. I mean, I really do communicate with my dogs all the time. Telepathically, I know what they're thinking, needing. They know, they're really personal dogs. They do eye contact. They seem to know what's going on. So strengthen the psychic bond between you and your familiars. And return to beginner's mind before meditation and try something new. So a lot of great ideas from catnip. All right, so let's go to rosemary now. It was the healer of air. The healer of air, rosemary. And this was the card about the story that I tell. So I'll just read it now, just from the book, for all of us to benefit from the message of rosemary. Adopt a story and pass it on. With pen, song, or brush, tell your story. What is remembered lives. A wild and unruly rosemary bush grows on the side of a garden shed. The building's blue paint is weathered and in need of a fresh coat. Some of the rosemary branches are starting to produce small purple flowers. An old woman grips a bundle of fresh sprigs in her hand, her arm decorated with a faded wing tattoo. She offers it up to the sky. The curandera, the healer of air, is calm and collected. She agrees with what Chogyam Trungpa taught about spiritual materialism, which was, wisdom is not an ancient relic to be collected, but inspiration for new awareness. She knows that the medicine of rosemary enhances cognitive function. Her mind is sharp and quick, but she talks very little. She understands that words have wings, so she speaks only when she has something meaningful to offer. She is a wonderful listener. She says, "Tell me more." People are drawn to her honesty. Just as rosemary clears the mind, her counsel brings clarity and inspires peace. So that was part of my power drain. Is it trying to tell me I talk too much? Never. All right, so let's craft with rosemary. We could call a story circle. We could make a rosemary crown to be worn by the storyteller. That would be interesting. We could enhance our memory, adding fresh rosemary to your cold water. That sounds delish. I would like to do that. And another way we can craft with rosemary is inspire your writing. Begin your journal session with a rosemary palm inhalation. So a little drop of rosemary. I mean, gosh, I could do that right now. If you work with essential oils, you make like a nose tent. So put a little drop, got it out here, put a little drop of rosemary in your hands. Whoa. And just inhale. Like cup your hand around your nose, but maybe not touch your face. Unless you want rosemary oil in your eye and on your cheeks. And just, bring it in. Oh my God, I love the smell of rosemary. It's so incredible. I mean, could you roast potatoes without it? Never. It's just incredible. Rosemary is just lovely, and it helps you wake up. It's stimulating. Before you journal, sniff some rosemary. Sniff it, or drink your cold water infusion to enhance your memory. So those are sweet ideas from the healer of air. Now we're gonna go down to burdock. Isn't that what you think of when you think of burdock, going down into that big root? Arcticum lapa. Okay, so this is the hanged one. Embrace a foe as a friend. Tap into nourishment found in the depths. Let go of control. Lasting change takes time. So we're looking at this beautiful aerial view. A cup of tea placed over a large burdock leaf reflects the naked tree outside the window. Like you can see it in the cup and the tea. There's some naked tree branches in the cup as a reflection. So a large clean root rests on the table, the tendrils forming the shape of the hanged one. Legs crossed like the numeral 4. Okay. Burdock root runes. Burdock root runes. You guys, we have to do it. Burdock root runes spill out from their blue velvet bag toward a lit beeswax candle. I love beeswax candles. I have a lifetime supply of candles that are not beeswax. And even though I have all these candles that I inherited, I was just thinking the other day about making beeswax candles, because that's the stuff that you want to be burning, not this paraffin bullshit. All right, so challenge presents an opportunity for growth. Though burdock is a tenacious weed, it can also be a valuable plant. The presence of burdock may indicate where the land is lacking nutrients. Using the large leaves as mulch can bring nourishment to the surface. When the leaves break down, the soil will improve and burdock will no longer have the conditions to thrive. So if you don't like your burdock growing where it's growing in your landscape, use its own leaves as mulch and it will nourish it, and then it ain't going to be as happy there anymore. Flip the script on a difficult situation. Flip the script. Tell a new story, right? See the problem as a solution. Burdock is also a valuable ally for the liver, as it helps clear and release toxins. And this is downright delicious if you ask me. So it also says, but healing the land or the body requires a long-term commitment. Yeah, if you've been damaging your body for a real long time, it's not going to just bounce back overnight. It takes time. Lasting change takes time. So surrender to the process. Deep change takes time. So if you want it to last and you need to go deep, you're going to have to give yourself the time to do it. So here's 3 ways we can craft with burdock. We can invite burdock to shift our perspective. Sit with it in the wild, harvest it, cook with it. I love the second one. Tap into the wisdom from the depths by crafting burdock runes, burdock root runes for divination. Okay, so next time I'm in Du Bois, because I think this is like the only place that I maybe be able to find some gobo, some burdock root. I'm going to try to find one that's like the right size and long enough and make a set of runes. I do have runes. They're made out of hematite, but I really want to make burdock root runes. And then, I imagine how I would do it is I would take that root and I would slice it into the little discs, right? I think I would dehydrate them first, and then I would take like a wood burning pen and burn in the runes, the letters that way. Okay, now why would I want to do this? Well, because it sounds like a good idea, but like my hematite runes, I don't feel comfortable like tossing them or throwing them, and that you don't have to throw runes, but like sometimes I feel like I would like to throw a handful of runes and just see what flips up, see what comes up. And I don't want to do that with the hematite. It would be too loud and clangy, and I feel like they would break because I've broken so many rings before. But I would not be afraid to do that with my burdock runes. And it's really special to make your own. I mean, you put your own energy into them. And to think that they're made out of burdock root, and I love burdock, yes. I want to put that down as a definite yes. Then the last way to connect and craft with the burdock, the hanged one, is enjoy a slow cup of burdock tea. As you sip, silently release all that is keeping you stuck. Ooh, just sit and sip. It's such good tea. It's so good. Release everything that is keeping you stuck. So that was with a power drain. So whatever is draining me of my Self-empowerment. Burdock saying, release it. Release it. And Rosemary's saying, and tell a new story. And tell a new story. All right, I am downright excited to talk about yucca because I don't know yucca. See, I'm already tapping into that beginner's mind. I don't know yucca. I mean, I know it intellectually, nerdy, a little bit from reading about it in books, but I've never grown it. I've never worked with it. I sure as heck never did the craft they're doing on this picture. They're weaving some type of like a cross symbol. I don't know. Let's read. Let's find out. See what I mean? Beginner's mind. Adelita of Earth, yucca. Put a new spin on an old tradition. Ground your spirituality in practical ways. To honor your ancestors, honor the land. A young woman finds herself in the desert in winter. The voices of her elders urge her to ground herself by creating beauty with her hands. Ooh, creating beauty with her hands. She seeks out long, green, reed-like plants and discovers the glorious yucca. She creates a bridge between her ancestors and the ancestors of the desert by weaving a Brigid's cross, a sacred symbol of her Celtic heritage. The Adelita of Earth is driven by the power of place. She explores new ways to embody old traditions using what is locally available to her without depleting resources. She knows yucca is used for weaving baskets, rope, and shoes. With the spirit of her foremothers behind her, she vows to respect the people and medicine of her home. She explores nature's bounty and creates practical but intuitive connections with the land. She is committed to an earth-honoring spiritual path wherever she finds herself. She is in the service of nature without ego. She is realistic and hardworking. Whew, that is such a good message because it's like, take note of the things growing around you. How can you be of service? How can you use what is available to you? How can you connect with nature more without your ego? How can you tap into the energy of the ancestors? Very sweet. So 3 ways to craft with the Adelita of Earth, yucca. You can honor the ancient ones, create important symbols of your heritage with what grows in your area. You can teach the power of place, learn the story of the yucca moth, and share it with others. Okay, I'd have to Google that. And take a class and learn about weaving fiber with yucca. Yeah, or those Celtic crosses, the Brigid crosses, they look cool too. That would be a good mini craft until you work up to your basket, which they take a lot of work. I've watched people weave before. I'm impressed. Absolutely. So these are great herbs. I love them so much. We still have 3 more. So let's dive in. All right, so the first one we just read last week, oregano, but apparently I need to hear it from a different standpoint. I was so giddy last week, right? Because, can't talk about sex without laughing, apparently. Nope, can't do it. All right. So the Adelita of Air, this is oregano. You'll remember this if you were with me last week. She says, speak from between your legs. I didn't even read the keywords this time because I just couldn't go there, I guess. Speak from between your legs. Shout, sing, scream. Declare your truth loudly and without fear. So this was the card that I pulled today, how to take my power back. And I really feel like as the healer of air, Rosemary, said, and use my words with power. Like, I do feel myself in real life being quieter. Like, I mean, here I don't stop at all, but it's a podcast. But in real life, I really am, definitely more reserved. But it's saying, like, come on out now. Listen to Rosemary. Make sure, like, when you do open your mouth, it is meaningful. It is wise. It is compassionate, right? But let's express ourselves more and speak from between your legs. Declare your truth loudly and without fear. All right, so let's hang out with oregano. So a young woman gathers herbs for Bajos, warm vaginal steam baths. She selects the most vibrant and strong plants to use in the ritual: roses, calendula, and oregano. The herb crafter arranges her steaming chair in a beautiful place in the garden near a healthy oregano plant. Soft, warm blankets lie folded nearby. The Adelita of Air is a champion for truth. She vows to remove the shame around women's bodies, beginning by loving her own. She strengthens the seat of her voice with vaginal steams. She knows oregano is more than just a kitchen herb. It is also an ally for women, easing menstrual pain and menopausal symptoms, bringing on the menses, and increasing warmth and circulation to the pelvic region. She understands what ancient women knew about the connection between the vagina and the throat. When one is constricted, so is the other. She sings during birth and screams during sex. She allows throat and vagina to open in order to express herself fully. She is blunt and clear. And as Clarissa Pinkola Estes, the author of Women Who Run with the Wolves, states, she speaks from between her legs. Dang. So I just loved it last week because I knew my tarot cards were giving me a heads up that I was going to get some, and they were right. But now I'm hearing it differently. Like, okay, great. Now that I've had that release, good job. Thank you, 2020. Only had to wait like 7-8 months. It's fine. No complaints. Now I'm hearing it in even a more powerful way, an even more important way of who I am and what I do, and how I really can fully support myself as a whole being. So how can we craft with oregano? Well, use vaginal steams to improve circulation and energy flow in the pelvis and the womb. That's one way you can use oregano. And crafting with the Adelita of Air, you can practice activities such as harvesting herbs in a squat position to open your pelvis. So yeah, make sure we're squatting. It's important. It's important to squat. When you cook with oregano, don't forget to sing. So yeah, let's get some oregano going on. Let's get some vag steams going on. Let's get some squats going on. Get our pelvis down there in between our feet. Squat down. Open up. Speak your truth. Sing. Scream. Release the rigidity in both areas, right? What did it say? Oh, restriction. Constriction. When one is constricted, so is the other. So there is a connection between the vagina and the throat. Hey, and I just looked up and saw 555. So if you had not thought that way, 5 is a number of change. Be open to get that beginner's mind. Ooh, that's another good message for me, because I was like, I'm not doing that. Right? Catnip is saying, could you please have an open mind and try something new? We think you will really enjoy it. All right, let's do yarrow. Let's do it. Let's do yarrow. So, and then we'll end with California poppy. So yarrow is the ace of air. Its message was, don't fence me in. Discernment is necessary for survival. Know your wounds. Identify your medicine. So what we're looking at is a wild bramble that's growing along the barbed wire fence in front of a dry field with a mountain in the distance. A hummingbird, oh, it's so tiny. I see it now. A hummingbird lands on a leafless, thorn-laden stem. Several sword-like yarrow plants fill the base of the thicket. The feathery leaves bend with a warm summer breeze, and the crisp white flowers reach beyond the boundary. The first seeds of a new idea can be found just outside your front door. Take a fresh look at an ancient calling from spirit. Though it is a common weed, yarrow often goes unnoticed. Inspiration is close, yet you may have overlooked it as ordinary or not valuable enough. Use discernment and reasoning to see clearly. Oh my gosh. And I just got the idea that I have so much mugwort, and I take it for granted or think that people won't want it, but I should really make like dream pillows. I should get crafty, because there's been so many messages here to work, like Yucca was saying, work with my hands, and get back to nature and utilize nature right outside your door and in your area. And what do I have a lot of? Mugwort and motherwort. So I should I don't need to be someone who makes a bunch of tinctures. I could just specialize in motherwort, Herbal Marie's motherwort, and utilize my mugwort for some pillows. Ooh, I love these ideas. All right. Where was I even at? I think I just had read, oh yeah, taking these common weeds as ordinary or not valuable enough. So yarrow wants us to use discernment and reasoning to see clearly. It is important to positively identify yarrow because lookalikes can be deadly. So make sure you know what you're doing. Set feelings aside and follow the truth. Start with what you already know. Seek vision from your ancestors. So another message to connect with the ancestors. So 3 ways we can craft with yarrow and the ace of air. The Latin name for yarrow comes from the myth of Achilles. Read his story, then journal the question. What is my Achilles heel? How is it keeping me from my destiny? Okay, that's freaking hilarious, because we're doing the self-empowerment spread, and the first question is, in what areas am I disempowered? So we basically just did that. All right, yeah, like what's keeping us? What's disempowering us? We just did it. So, but you can do it again if you want. Cultivate discernment by learning to identify yarrow and its lookalikes. And then also an idea is craft a powder. Craft a powder of dried yarrow leaves to stop bleeding. Use it in magical practice to heal wounds that cut to the bone. So powder up some of those yarrow leaves, and yeah, like it's the first time I put powder, like herbal powder, into a wound, I thought, is this a good idea? Like, because you're just like, usually it's like put on the triple antibiotic ointment, but actually putting powder into a seeping wound and it was like specialized herbs, but yarrow is definitely one of them, and even some mint too. It was very comforting. It took the pain away, helped it heal, helped it stop bleeding. So if you've got like a completely open wound, think about powdered yarrow. Or if something's bleeding and you just want it to stop, you can try powdered yarrow. So craft up a powder of dried yarrow leaves. I love it. See, it's all practical stuff. It's all practical. I love, love, love it. Yeah, and then connect with nature, connect with the ancestors, connect with the energies around you, connect with yourself, and yeah, feel more self-empowered. Last card, California Poppy. So its keywords was create with the enthusiasm of a beginner. Yeah, and I am feeling that. Like, I've gotten away from like the craftiness, like, because part of me is like so intellectual now, and it sees the craftiness as kind of dumb or a waste of time or just making a mess. Like I stopped enjoying it, as you know, like, and I think my guides are like, could you try to enjoy, try and see if you like it, because we think you're gonna like it the way you used to like it again. Yeah, and I do need to work with my hands more. I agree. So create with the enthusiasm of a beginner, boisterous play, then sweet sleep. Light up the landscape with golden joy. Very good. So this is a great looking table. Like, as I was saying, like, you know, let's get messy. Let's work with herbs. Let's have our cards and our crystals and our flowers and our mortar and pestle and our stuffed animal. Let's have it all on the table at once. That's what we're looking at here. Magical objects lie on a bright yellow table. A stuffed tiger, a glitter wand, a small cauldron, and a mortar and pestle. Pictures of poppy plants are scattered about like oracle cards. Real flowers frame the edge of the table. A child wraps her dirt-stained fingers adorned with flashy jewels around an amber gazing ball. So yeah, I love that I've gotten 2 daughter cards. This daughter of fire jumps at the chance to be creative. She cannot wait to begin a new project. She approaches everything with the playfulness of a child. Knowing the strong elixir of California Poppy creates magic, she takes small but confident steps towards independence. She may have watched an elder many times, but now she makes medicine for herself. Just as California poppy flowers light up dry, wild desert meadows with their brilliant color, she stays open to the light, sways with the wind, and radiates delight. Wow. And that really is such good self-empowerment, when you can be excited with the heart of a child and just be yourself and sway with the wind and shine your light and share your joy. What did Marshmallow, the affirmation? I feel the joy of being on the earth. I nurture others with my bliss. So these are so fun. Now, a couple things you could do with California Poppy is craft fairy dolls from poppy flowers to inspire enthusiasm. You could spend time gathering California Poppy in a wild meadow and craft a relaxing elixir. Or do a little guerrilla gardening with California Poppy seeds. Sprinkle joy everywhere you go. Yes, sprinkle joy wherever you go. Craft. Get to know yourself. Know your wounds, heal your wounds. Quit holding back. Quit disempowering yourself, right? You want to be self-empowered. You want to tell a great story. You want to go deep into yourself and into your heritage and into the knowingness of who you are, of what the earth has to offer you. But yeah, I just love this fun message that we're ending on, to craft, to shine your light. Just sprinkle joy wherever you go. That is a fun idea, to be sprinkling seeds everywhere, right? California poppy seeds everywhere. What's up, Pennsylvania? The Pennsylvanian California poppy. How did it get here? I have an idea. I think it was that hoe. So anyways, thanks for joining me at Hoe for Tuesday Tarot Tuesday. This was a great layout. Thanks again to starseed.academy. You can check her out on Instagram. And I loved these messages coming through. I hope you do your own spread. I hope that you gained wisdom from my spread and really enjoyed sitting with yucca, burdock, rosemary, catnip, oregano, yarrow, and California poppy as much as I did. Whew. I just feel so good, and I hope you do too. So come on back tomorrow. We're going to manifest more appreciation, and for sure, I appreciate you.